Hey guys, welcome back to my channel today. In today's video, we're going to have a look at my pecan praline tart with mascarpone cream. To make this tart, we're going to start by making my almond short dough. Once the tart dough is baked, we will layer this tart with some pecan praline paste, pecan cremeux, and mascarpone and vanilla chantilly. So we start by taking some butter and attach a paddle attachment to my mixer. Just cream the butter till it becomes soft. Once the butter is softened, we will add some icing sugar, almond flour, refined flour, and continue mixing. You do not want to cream it too much, just mix together so that you get a mixture which looks like a breadcrumb. You can quickly check and see the texture of the dough. Once we have the desired texture, we will add some milk and vanilla. Put the paddle attachment back and continue mixing. Do not overmix it. Just make sure all the ingredients come together and you get a very crumbly dough. Once you have achieved the dough, it's important that we rest this dough for a while. I'm going to take some cling wrap and cover the dough. Flatten the dough really well and keep it in the fridge for at least a couple of hours. While the dough is resting, we'll start making a pecan praline paste. For making pecan praline paste, I will make some dry caramel. When you're making dry caramel, we're going to add sugar in small parts and continue mixing. Once the first part of the sugar has dissolved, we will add the second part and continue stirring. As you see, when the sugar starts dissolving, you will finish it off with the rest of the sugar and continue cooking till you get a nice amber golden brown color caramel. I've toasted my pecan at around 120 degrees centigrade for around 10 to 12 minutes. Once my caramel is ready, I'm pouring the caramel on top of the pecan and let it set. You can also add some vanilla if you like in this. Once the caramel sets, we're going to add it to the food processor. Churn it to get the desired consistency. I'm going to check it a couple of times so I don't get a very smooth paste. I would love to keep my praline a little bit coarse so it gives you a nice texture while I'm eating it. Once I have the desired consistency, I'll transfer in a bowl and reserve it till I use it. Let's start making a pecan cremeux. For pecan cremeux, I'm going to quickly boil my pecans. So that they become a little softer. You do not have to cook it for too long, just a single boil and you take it off and drain the water. Transfer it in another bowl and keep it. Let's start making the cremeux. For cremeux, I've taken some eggs and add some sugar. I'll add a vanilla. Scrape the beans and add it to the eggs and sugar and give it a nice stir. You don't have to make a sabaya here, you're just going to stir it till the sugar dissolves into the egg. When the sugar and the eggs have nicely incorporated, we'll take cream and warm it up. I do not have to boil the cream, just to warm to around 75 to 80 degrees centigrade. Add the warm cream to the eggs and sugar mixture and give it a mix. Once mixed, transfer it back on the flame and we will cook it to around 80 degrees centigrade so that the eggs are completely cooked. Take a sieve and pour this cream on top of my boiled pecan. I'll transfer this into a food processor to make a nice paste. Once I have this pecan cream, and transfer into a bowl or a tall container like this. We add some soft butter and emulsify the butter into the cream to get our pecan cremeux. So we have a pecan praline ready, we have a pecan cremeux ready. Let's go and start lining a tart dough. I've got a perforated tart ring. I'm going to grease it with some butter. The tart dough which was resting in the fridge, I've already sheeted at around 2 mm thickness. You can use a rolling pin. For me, I've used a dough sheeter. I'll take a cutter and cut the round which will form the base of my tart. With the help of a roller cutter, I will cut thin strips which will be around 3 cm tall. Start by lining the walls first or the strips around the tart ring. Once the disc is cut, I will place the disc at the bottom of the tart ring and press it along the corners so that the bottom and the sides merge. Let it rest in the fridge for a few minutes and trim off the excess tart dough. We bake it in the oven at around 170 degrees centigrade till it's par baked. Once par baked, we remove the ring and grease it with some egg wash. The recipe for the same is mentioned in the description. This egg wash will give you a nice shine on the tart once baked. However, this is optional. You can also continue baking the tart dough completely without giving an egg wash. Once your tart is completely baked, we're going to take it out of the oven and let it rest so it comes to room temperature. I've already made my mascarpone vanilla chantilly and it is resting in the fridge, which I'll be using for this tart. But just for your information, I'm going to quickly show you how to make my mascarpone vanilla chantilly. For making mascarpone vanilla chantilly, we'll start by blooming the gelatin. For blooming gelatin, we'll mix some water and the gelatin powder. You can use gelatin sheets as well. While the gelatin is blooming, we will take our cream, icing sugar and warm it in a pan. You do not have to boil it, just warm it to around 75 to 80 degrees centigrade. Once warm, take it off and add the bloom gelatin. Let the gelatin dissolve into the cream. We will rest this cream aside for a while so that it cools down to around 35 to 40 degrees centigrade. When the cream is cold, we take the mascarpone and cream it. Add the vanilla chantilly and emulsify. Once the mascarpone and vanilla cream is well emulsified, it's time to rest it in the fridge. It's ideal that you rest this cream in the fridge for at least 8 hours. Allowing it to rest for 8 hours will help the gelatin to set and the cream to stabilize. So when you whip this cream, you will get a very nice stable cream which can be piped on the tart. However, for this recipe, I've already made my chantilly and kept on the side. Let's start assembling the tart. For assembling the tart, we're going to first start by piping my pecan praline paste at the bottom. I will chop a few pecans which are toasted in the oven and sprinkle on top of the praline paste. This will give you a nice crunch and a bite to the tart as well. After the pecans are placed on the praline paste, we will pipe the pecan cremeux and with the help of a palette knife, level it up. You can rest this in the fridge for a few minutes so that the pecan cremeux sets well into the tart. While the pecan cremeux is setting in the fridge, we will start whipping my mascarpone vanilla chantilly. You can see the texture, the gelatin is set and it's nice and firm. Once the cream is whipped, we'll fill in a piping bag and pipe the chantilly on top of the tart. Sprinkle some snow sugar, however this is optional. Pipe a few drops of pecan praline. I've used some chocolate feathers for decoration. Few pieces of gold leaves. And also some chopped pecan nuts. You can rest this tart in the fridge for a while. For me, I'm going to cut this tart because I just cannot wait to cut this tart and show you the beautiful layers inside. Just look at the almond dough, which is perfectly baked. You have a nice pecan praline and a pecan cremeux topped with a perfectly whipped mascarpone vanilla chantilly. Trust me, this is one of the best pecan tart you can bake. So go ahead, try it, and do let me know in your comments how do you find this recipe. Thank you so much for watching.